Alright guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you exactly how to upload projects on GitHub pages. Alright, so if you want to upload projects on GitHub pages, watch this video step by step, because that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you in this video. Alright, so make sure you pay close attention. Okay, the first thing you want to do obviously is to come over to the GitHub website. Right, that's the first thing. Now please note that it's very important to watch this video till the end before taking any action, because there are going to be a lot of details that if you pause and play, you're going to miss out on a lot. So it's important you actually watch the videos to the end before you actually start taking steps. All right, so make sure you watch the video to the end. It's very important. Before we begin, the first thing you want to do is to come over to the GitHub website. If you don't know how to come over, just open a new tab on your browser and then type in GitHub. Right, you will see the first website right here, which is the GitHub website. Click on it and then boom, you'll be on the website. It is super simple. The next thing you want to do right before we actually begin is to actually sign into your GitHub account, right, if you have an account. But if you don't have an account, it's simple. Just come here and click on where it says sign up. It is super simple. All right, it's actually not a very difficult thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are inside of my account. Alright, so now that we're inside my account, we are going to move over to this document. I've set out the document that we are going to actually use to walk step by step. There are just actually 4 simple steps that we are just going to walk into successfully upload projects on GitHub pages. Right, so the first one is basically to create a GitHub repository. Right, so we are going to go inside our GitHub right now, create a GitHub repository. Right, we give it a name, so I'll just come here inside. So if you want to do that, you just come here and click on this icon right here, this icon right here, and then come here to where it says repositories. Super simple. So when you come to where it says repositories right there, to give a list of your existing repositories. If you don't have, yours should be blank, but then come here and click on new, because we're going to use a new one right here. Right now, because this is just a test, I'm just going to give it a random name. It might not actually mean anything. I'm just going to name it path, or path, I guess. So just leave it at Patrick. All right, so basically I'm just going to name the description the same thing, right, because it's just a little test. We are actually not doing anything serious rare. All right, so yeah, so basically that's it. All right, so what we're going to do right now is, once you're done, I'm just going to come here and then click on where it says create repository. All right, it is super simple. So make sure you leave this one public based on our instruction right here. Right, you give it a name, which is what we did. Like, choose public. Right, GitHub page won't work with private repos, right, unless you have a paid plan. Okay, so basically you have to leave this one. If you are working on a free plan, right, you have to leave this on a public. If you're using a paid plan, then you can put it on private. So then we create our account, our repository right here. So basically then you click on the create, which is what we just did. All right, super simple. As you can see, this is actually our repository right here. All right, basically it is super simple. So the next thing we want to do right now is, if I come back here, we see we move over to step 2, which is to connect your local projects to a repository, or to the repository. Connect your local project to the repository. So here's what we're going to do. So we'll come here to our folder right here, as you can see. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to look for maybe an HDMI or a JavaScript that we actually want to actually upload, right, as a project to GitHub pages. So for this video, I'm going to use this one right here, this one called index.html. right, so I'm just going to click on it. I'm not going to open it, but I'm just going to click on it and then right click and bring out a drop down menu, where I'll come here to where it says properties. Super simple. Come here to where it says properties. Now I'm going to take this location right here, right, the location right here of this document, and then I'll exit this, and then let me just open a new document, because we're going to be making some adjustments. So I'm just going to open a new document and paste it inside of this new document right here. All right, it is super simple. So now that I have it right here, we are going to do some things. I said the first thing we are going to do right here is we're just going to come here, and then we are going to change this slash and this slash and this slash, right, because the git bash we are going to be using, the git bash we are going to be using right here, as you can see. If your project is already on your computer, right, say on your desktop, open git bash or VS Code. You can do this on VS Code if you have the Visual Studio Code. You can also do this on Git bash, right? So for this video, I'm going to be actually using Git bash, right? And on Git bash, you cannot actually use backslash, right? You can't actually, git bash can't read backslash, right? You can using VS Code, but you cannot use it using git bash. All right, I'm going to change it right here to /. I'm going to change it right here, /. I'm also going to change this one right here to /, right here, right, / right here. I'm also going to change this one right here to /. It is super simple. All right, so what we're going to do next is right here. By the way, if you don't know how to get the git bash right here, what you're going to do is that you're just going to come open a tab on your browser, and then you're going to type in git, right? You're going to type in git-scm.com, right? It is super simple. This is where you get your git bash. All right, so basically it is like a kit. It has other softwares or programs under it, right? So mine is showing Windows right here, right? The latest version of Windows, because I'm using a Windows, right? If you're using Mac, I think it should show Mac or something like that. But then if it doesn't, you can always go down and look for them, or you can come here and then do your search and search for if you're using Linux and all of that. So they should have the one that suits your device. And then once you download the Git, your goal is to download Git. Once you download Git right here, what's going to happen is that all the Git packages are also going to be downloaded alongside the Git, right? So for example, GitHub, Git bash, beg your pardon, Git bash right here is going to be downloaded and installed. Git cmd is going to be downloaded and installed. Git GUI is going to be downloaded and installed, right? All these are all parts of the Git packages. They are all going to be installed the moment you install this one right here. Right, so basically that's how it works, right? Then follow the installation process. Once you download, just follow the step by step, and boom, you have it installed. All right, so once you have it installed, yours should look something like this. So once you have it installed, let me open the git bash right here. Once you have it installed, the logo should look something like this. As you can see, this is basically how it looks like, and boom, it makes it this. Here. All right, so this is how it should look like. This is how the git bash looks like. All right, it is super simple. Now we're going to be putting some codes inside to be able to successfully upload projects and into our GitHub pages. All right, so what you're going to do right now is we just come down here, and then, you know, like I said, we come here, and then once we paste in the location of the file that we want to actually upload as a project, so then we come back here, and then we just copy CD right here. You can either copy it or you just type it, doesn't matter. I just like copying stuff. So I'm just going to type in CD right here, space, and then you put in the you know, the location. Now make it clear. Let me make something clear. You make sure that you have this CD in small letter, right? The C and the D should be in small letter, or otherwise git bash will not be able to read it. This is also why it's good to watch these videos to the end, so you're not going to make any mistake. And it is also why you should pay close attention, right? Because if this is in capital letter, it's not going to work, right? But then this C can be in capital letter, it has no effect, right? So once you've done this, we come here and then we copy it right here, and then we come, I paste it right here. Now you watch what's going to happen, and boom, as you can see, it has added this download right here. And what this basically means is that it has access to our folder right here, our downloads folder. So this, our download section right here, as you can see, what it's trying to say is that I have access to this download folder, right? And if you want to go further, if you want to confirm, you can just type in ls. If you type in ls right here, it will give you a list of every single file that is inside of this your download folder, right? It give you every single file. If you type in L, the letter L and S together, and then press enter. So but I don't want to do that because it will take much time. Let's move over to the next step, right? So what's going to happen right now that we've done this, that we're going to check your current branch, right? You're going to check your current branch right here, which is very important. Now if you don't know what branch is, don't worry, it shouldn't confuse you. Just follow me step by step, right? So what you're going to do is that you're going to type in git branch. Let's see if we have any current branch right here. All right, so I'll just type in git branch. Boom, as you can see, fatal not git repository and all of that. So basically we don't have any git branch yet, which is good. So what's going to happen is this: we just move further, right? We move further, and then what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come right here, and then, by the way, I just come right here, and then I'll just copy this. These are the things we are going to be typing inside of the git bash, right, to be able to successfully do what we want to do, right, with our file, right, to successfully upload the file as a GitHub into our GitHub page. All right, so you come here and type in git space init, right? Git space init is a short way of saying initialize, right? But then we just put in init, init, right? So git space init. All right, super simple. Come here and then put it this way. I'll just paste it right here. Boom, as you can see, right? Notice what just happened right here. It said initialize empty git and repository and all of that. So notice that this was added to this. As you can see, this was added, right? It means you're on the right track, but we have to change this master, right? Because all we're going to be doing right here, we're going to be working with another branch called main, right? There are two basic branches, right, that we are going to be using, that we normally use. One is called master and the other is called main. All right, so this one is called masters, but the one we're going to be working with is called main. So we have to change it, because if we don't change it, it's going to affect us. We'll not be able to do any of these things right here. So we have to change this one right here to main. So to do that, right, if yours shows main, the moment you put in this, the moment you put in this git space init, if it shows you main right here, is completely fine. But if it doesn't, just follow this step right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. I'm just going to come here and then put in git branch space, all right, git space branch space -m space, and then we do master space main. All right, so if your current branch is master, you rename it to main using this. All right, and then if you want to change it to main, if yours is main and you want to change to masters, you just copy this one, or you basically just switch these two of them, right? Switch the two of them, put the main here and then put the masters right here. It is super simple. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy it right there. So it's git space branch space -m space master space main. Copy it right here, and then I'll just come here and then paste it right here. All right, so I just click on enter, and boom, as you can see, it has actually changed to main. All right, so as you can see, which is very good, because based on what we want to do, right, we are going to be needing all of this. All right, so it is super simple, right? So the next thing we want to do right now, right, actually I think before we actually continue, before we proceed, we should make one more confirmation. Right, so what you want to do right now is to come here, and then we have to delete the old remote, right, and add a new one, right? So if you don't know what a remote is, you don't have to stress yourself. What this means is basically our repository, right? So when we are going to be pushing code to our repository, we are going to be pushing the project to our repository, all right, inside of GitHub right here, right? So we want to make sure that the repository, the project that we are pushing, comes to this repository. Remember, I have lots of repository right here, right? Remember, I have a lot of them. As you can see, I have a lot, right? So sometimes you can want to put a repository into one, you might want to put the project into one repository, but then it ends up going to another one. So we want to make sure that we are at the right place. Okay, that's what we want to do. So that's what this remote means. So if you prefer to start clean, you confirm. So I want to confirm where if there's any current repository inside of my git bash, right? So basically, if I come here, I just type in git space remote space -v, right? The v is in small letter. Git space remote space -v. So that's what I'm just putting. All right, so as you can see, what this basically means is that there is actually no, currently there's actually no repository right here. There's no repository. So that's what basically it means. So I just wanted to confirm. And so because there's no repository, what I'm going to do is that if yours shows you maybe something like this, all right, it shows that there is a repository. That's basically what it means, right? So if yours shows you something like this, there's a current repository. So what you want to do is to come here and then type in git space remote space remove space origin. All right, I'll take it again. Git space remote space remove space origin. So that will remove the old one. Okay, so once you've removed the old one, then you now come here and add the new one. All right, it is very important. So this basically, this is not what we want. Let me come here to my repository. This is the one we created. Where is the Patrick? Where is the Patrick? Actually, where is the Patrick? Right here. The Patrick is not here. I think it's missing. This is Patrick right here. So if I click on it right here, right, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to copy it right here. I'm just going to copy it, right, copy the link, right. I'll come back here. So right here it says here peter.git, right, peter.git, which is what needs changing. The reason is because I have a repository like that, right. I've used repository before. I have a repository called Peter, so peter.git. So instead of that, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change it right here. And since it's Patrick, I'm going to change this one to Patrick right here. So I'm just going to add this one. I'm just going to copy this one right here. It is super simple. All right, so make sure you keep watching this video. It is very important. Come here and then put in Patrick right here. Now, in case you're confused, you can always watch the video again, right? But make sure you keep following me till the end. So now that we've done this, right, I have changed this to Patrick. So basically this is actually the location of my new repository, the one we created, this new repository we created. All right, so if you come here and look closely, it says here github.com/dstar04/Patrick. So if you come right here, you notice that it says the same thing, github.com/dstar04/Patrick. Then we put in .git, right, .git, very important, put in. And then we have these ones which are the pre-existing ones, right, the prefix git space remote space add space origin, before we put in the http and all of that. So basically what this means is that we're actually telling it, we want to tell GitHub, we want to tell Git bash, beg your pardon, we want to tell Git bash where to put in this project that we want to push. All right, we want to tell you where to put it, this project that we want to actually push over to GitHub, right? We want to tell you the exact repository to put it. So I'll just put in this right here, click on enter, right? So now we've done that. So anything we try to send over to GitHub from here, this is the repository it's going to go to, right? So that's it. So now that I've done that, we move over to step 3. It is super simple. But then if you want to confirm, I'll just come here, it's git space remote space -v. All right, so basically that's simple. Just come here and put it right here. So as you can see, this is it, right? So this is what will be exactly what we put. So basically what this means, like I said, is that whenever we try to transfer something to GitHub, right, this is where it's going to go to. It's going to go to this exact repository, this exact one. All right, so that's what we did. So if I come back here, let's go back to our file. So move out to step 3, which is the second to the last step, right? So we come here and then we begin some of the major important codes that we need to install. So we need to put in the git space init. Okay, so like we said, now we've already done it before, right? So as we said, reinitialize existing git, right? Because we've already done it before. So now we'll come here and then put in this. So just copy this git space add, copy it, don't paste it yet. Come here to this new blank folder, right? Git space add space. Now here's what you're going to do. Come over to your folder and then come over to the file that we want to actually push as a project to GitHub page, all right, to GitHub pages. So which is this one, which is the index.html. I right click, come to where it says properties, and then I type in the name, right? I copy the name. It's very simple. Exit this, I come here and then I paste it right here. I hope that's simple. So it's git space add space index.html, right? So it depends on the folder you're trying to put. If it's this one, let me come over here. So basically if it's this one, you should put in crypto underscore casinos underscore batch 5 underscore 20.pdf. That's what should be here, right, in replacement of this index.html. all right, so that's it. So space, so it's git space add space, then you put in the folder or the file name, So I copy this whole thing, come here, copy it here, I copy right here, and then come here and then paste it right here. All right, click on enter, boom. All right, so now what you're going to do, now that you've done this, the next thing you're going to do is you come here to where it says git commit, right? So it's git commit, as you can see, git commit minus m, open quotation, initial commit, close quotation. Let me take it again. Git space commit space minus m space open quotation, then put in initial commit, initial space commit, then close quotation. This is what I'm exactly what I'm doing. Super simple, right? So as you can see, boom. So basically this is actually what you're supposed to see. You should see something like this, right? So what you're going to do next is you're going to come to where it says git branch space, that is git space branch space minus m space main, right? So I hope you can see clearly. Okay, beautiful. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to put in this code right here, which is git space remote space add space origin space, then we put in our repository again. Remember our repository? Remember when we put in our repository right here? So this is our repository, all right? So I'll just copy it right here. So I'll just copy it right here. You know what, let me just take it out of here. I'll just copy it right here into this blank, you know, I'll just copy it and take it outside here, right? So this blank space. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go back to my repository, copy the name or the link, copy the link right here. I'll just come here and then I'll paste it. I'll start from here, the HTTP, right? Because this is HTTP, started from HTTP, right? As HTTPS. So I just come here and then, you know, come here and then I'm going to stop here. You're going to leave the dot git, like dot git. You're going to leave it. So this is what you're changing, right? So let me take it out again. I'll just paste it and then automatically replace right here. So let me, right, so I want to do it here, so I don't want to tamper with this. Let me come here and then put it here, paste it right here. All right, so then I'm going to copy the entire thing, right? Git space remote space add space origin space https column / github, and you know the rest of them. Copy, come over to my git bash, and then I paste it right here. And then I click on enter. All right, so it says remote origin already exists, which is true, or which is good. Right, so it says it already exists, right? Basically the reason why it already exists is simply because of this, right? Because of what we did earlier right here, right? When we actually changed it right here. So we already did this, but I just wanted to double check. All right, so the next thing you want to do is to come here and then put in this last one, which is to push the code. All right, we are going to push in the file, which is basically the project that we are going to push in to our GitHub page. All right, so we're going to finally put in the file. So I'll just come and copy this and then I'm going to paste it right here. All right, so it is git space push space minus u space origin space main. All right, I'll take it again. Git space push space minus u space origin space main. So I'll click on enter and then the magic will begin. All right. All right, guys. So as you can see right here, this is the result of what we're doing. As you can see, it says done, it says done, it says done here, you know, and all of that, done and all of that. So basically it actually works. To prove that what we are doing is working, as we did it correctly, so it actually works. So now we're going to move over to the step 4, which is the final step, which is to enable GitHub pages. All right, enable GitHub pages. So what you're going to do is that you're going to go to your repository, right, on GitHub. You're going to click on settings. So let's go there right here. So this is my repository. I'm going to go to settings inside of the repository. Remember, we're inside of the repository. That this is your exact repository that we're trying to push in, or we are trying to upload the project to. I click on settings, right, according to the instructions that I wrote down here. Then you scroll down to the left sidebar. You click on pages. Come over to the left sidebar, right? Left sidebar, which is this one right here. So you click on pages. Very simple. Once you do that, the next thing is to, under source, you select deploy from a branch. Under source, you select deploy from a branch, right? So after that, what you're going to do is that you then, under branch, you click on main, you select main and all of that. So if you come here, you notice that main is actually not coming up. Okay, main is actually here. You click on main, but in case yours does not show, what you want to do is that you want to come to where it says deploy from a branch, click on where it says GitHub action, then you come back again and click on deploy from a branch, right? Sometimes it just needs to, you just need to switch it to adjust it. So I just come back to where it says deploy from a branch. Notice the root section just appeared right here, and then the main just appeared, right? So which is basically the exact steps right here. So which is then select the folder, right? So the main came up, selected the folder, right? This came up, which is slash root. Let me show you here, slash root. So you have two options. You can put slash document, you can put slash roots, right? But then you put slash root if your HTML files are in the root of your repository, whilst you put in slash document if your site files are in the folder called docs. So I'm just going to leave it as slash root, slash root, and then basically what you're going to do once you've done that is let's see, let me come here and then put it. Okay, I'm just going to put in document, right? I'm going to put in document. I think mine is actually in the documents section. All right, so I'm just going to click on save. I believe that should be the last. Click on save. It's super simple. So we just click on save. As you can see, we just clicked on save. So what's actually going to happen next is this, right? So GitHub will automatically deploy your website. Okay, automatically deploy your website. So which is step 4, which is you get your website link. So after a few seconds, GitHub will show a message like this: your site is live at, then you to give you the link. All right, so that's your website link. Right, so after some seconds, it's actually supposed to come up right here. So what you're going to do is that you're actually just going to be patient, right? Actually just going to be patient, and it's actually going to come up right here. So basically that's actually how it works. And then if you have any issues or any challenge along the way, what you're simply going to do is that you're just going to go over to ChatGPT, right? Just go over to ChatGPT and explain, right? Explain the challenge you're having along the way, and he's going to walk you through every single thing. All right, so basically that's how it works, and this is basically how I did mine. And yeah, so basically this is actually how to upload projects to your GitHub pages, right? It is super simple. Do well to like this video and also subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. All right, do well to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.